What's up, everybody? So to start this off, I am going to talk about the giveaway real fast before we get into this Foodplot video. What I'm going to be giving away: Dewalt heated jacket, and it's a whole kit. So if you don't have Dewalt tools, it doesn't really matter. Battery, adapter, and charger. 20 volt max. It's a size large. I'll post some pictures of the front and the back so you guys can pause it and read through everything it says. It's going to be completely free. I'm going to cover shipping and everything. When I hit 100 subscribers, I'm going to post a video as fast as I can after that point and explain how the contest is going to work. The only thing for sure right now is you have to be subscribed, of course, but your settings have to show that you're subscribed so I can see, because I can't take the chance of somebody commenting, winning it, and finding out they're not subscribed. So I'll post a little thing here to kind of show you what you need to change in the settings so I can know. And that's just my way of being fair. And it's going to be pretty sweet. So hopefully we can get to 100 before the hunting season so somebody can put this to use. But I'm going to have it regardless, and I'm going to give it away whenever I hit 100. I'm not going to use it. It's brand new. So that's that. It's a pretty sweet giveaway though. I've never gave anything away. So we'll dive into this Foodplot video. Alright, diving right in, this looks like a big fucking mess. But there's a method to this madness. And what I done, other than hunting it, what I done is I got on all the main trails with Hunt Stand, and I turned on the tracker, and I walked the trail all the way across the property and tracked it, and saved it, and walked every main trail on the whole 300 acres. And what we noticed is all of them came in this little patch right here, or close to it. You know, this whole circle or central part was a big intersection. Well, we couldn't put our food plot here because of how low it is, and it would actually flood. It's going to flood real bad. So it just ruined everything we worked for. So we brought it up. There's a little hill right where this green starts. You know, it's probably 3 foot, but it's enough that this is all going to be dry land all spring. So it's 2 acres, and it was a mess. And when I mean a mess, I mean just honeysuckle and bushes and giant anthills and 3 foot grass. I mean, it was horrible. But the way we looked at it is, this is a pretty square property, and it gets thicker in the middle. Some of the thinnest stuff is the stuff out here on the edges. So putting this in a central location for this property and how it's laid out is going to work the best. You could try putting a linear, but it's not going to work like that. And plus, we lease it, so we can't just go in and cut and hay and all that stuff, because they lease that out to people. But when we went into here, I mean, there was 2 big oaks that were deadfalls, so we had to move them out. We had to we tried pulling a bunch of small trees out. That was horrible. So we ended up buying renting a bush hog and mowing all these trees down. And some of the bigger ones we just cut really low to the ground. And the bush hog wasn't that expensive. I think it was like $170, $200 for the weekend. It went on a skidster, which if you don't have a skidster, I mean, honestly, you could probably rent a skidster and the bush hog for $500, and you only have to do it once. Once you kill the trees, spray them, they're not gonna, and burn it all, And as long as you keep spraying and everything, they're not going to come back up. And what was I going to say? I kind of forgot what I was talking about. But that's basically how we laid it out. So when we go into any of these stands, the whole concept is sitting on, like this one right here. You're sitting on a pinch point and a funnel, because there's a hillside here, and then this is just big open hayfield. So you only have literally a 10-yard little spot in between here, and they traveled a lot. And they all lead to this area around the food plot. So of course, we set up there. We're setting up on the edge of the movement to be able to capitalize on it. And I'll do, what color will show up best? White? I'll do a white to kind of show. It's a hell of an arrow. That would be a southwest wind for us. So you could hunt that stand. You could hunt this stand, this stand, this blind, this blind. This stand you could actually hunt because the trail's so close to the tree that it's going to blow right over the top of them. You could hunt this stand. You could hunt all these stands on a southwest wind. Now when you start getting into all these, you think of a northwest wind, which is later in the season. You can hunt all these with the northwest, and they all sit on that bedding to food, because that's what all these squares and little triangles are. This is all bedding areas that after hunting this, we've jumped deer out of them in the middle of the day all the time. So they like bedding there already. So we went in, hinge cut some trees, and just spruced it up a little bit for them and made them want to make them enjoy it even more. All the bedding areas are off limits. We don't go into them once the season starts. Really before, probably August. Well, actually, we probably won't go into them until after the season this year, because they're all done. And the thing with this bedding being so far away from the food plot itself is this could be potential buck bedding. I'll get rid of a bunch of these lines because I'm sure it looks crazy. And we'll go with yellow just because it looks the best on camera, or from what I can see in this little screen. You're going to have a lot of deer, a lot of doe families and doe groups that bed around this. And it's all really thick. This spot is really, really thick. You can you can't even walk through it. And you might have some does that bed, in some of these locations. But there's an opportunity that bucks start bedding in all these areas. We'll mark them with white just so you could think a buck could be in there, a buck could be in there, a buck could be in this area, and this area. Like I said, does are going to want to live closer to the food source. But the nice thing is, the way this is laid out is we don't go into the food plot, we don't hunt the food plot. It's nothing. It is just there for deer to have security and be able to eat. That's it. We'll set up around it and we'll capitalize on the movement coming to and from it. And that's it. We're not gonna, if we put trail cameras in, we might put trail cameras in the summer, and then once the deer have the bucks or antlers are basically grown, they can still be in velvet, but that buck looks like that and it's not going to change. We'll take almost like a deer census and find out how many bucks, what age group, how many does, how many fawns, how many yearlings and everything, and decide on whether we're going to take deer, take 6 doe or take 1 doe or take no doe. So I think it's a pretty good layout for what we have. I'll do another video based on what we're going to plant, how we're planting it, but we went in just about 5 days ago and we actually sprayed all of this. And we used 5 ounces of glyphosate per gallon. And it's overkill, but the nice thing is with glyphosate, it's a pre-emergent, or it's a post-emergent, not pre-emergent. It's a post-emergent. So it's only going to affect the plants that are grown. You're not going to have to worry about it affecting anything you plant later on. You can actually throw seed out in glyphosate and it's not going to hurt the seed. And there's not going to be any residuals left in or anything. And we done a soil sample. So out of 2 acres, I dug up 8 spots. I went in the corner, I went in the middle, I went in like the 4 corners, and then just some random spots, mixed it all together, and then sent it in. And we actually have to put 3 tons of lime in this area to get the pH up. And some people they're lazy and don't do it, but just get the soil sample and put your lime in there, because it doesn't matter how you could put so much nutrient into the soil. If the pH balance isn't right, the plants can't uptake the nutrients. So you'll just be wasting nutrient. And I actually looked into Deer Grow, that plot spray that's supposed to raise the pH. And for how much time we've put into this and how much time most people have put into Foodplot and how much work it's really taken, I just can't bring myself to take a gamble on something that really, the science behind it doesn't make sense to me. Because, okay, we'll put it this way. Lime is about 40% pure calcium whatever. I can't remember exactly what it is. So a ton of lime, 40% is 800 pounds of the pure thing that raises the pH. So I don't understand how 1 gallon of this stuff can raise the pH for as much as a ton of lime. It just doesn't make sense to me. Pure is pure. It don't matter if it's powder. It don't matter if it's liquid. Pure is pure. Gram for gram, ounce for ounce, pound for pound. It's the same thing whether it's in liquid or whether it's in powder. So I just couldn't take a chance on it. Maybe other people, maybe you guys have or used it and it was not bad, but I don't know. So yes, we have to bring in 6,000 pounds of lime into here. And the way we bring it in is we park over here right off the road and we drive this field edge all the way. We don't go into the woods there. And then we cut across the little crossing and we drive up into the plot. So it's going to be a lot of work. Definitely spreading it. You can't get a spreader in there. I mean, we'll be lucky to get a tractor in to disc, but we'll just load up the 4-wheeler and take 10 bags at a time, make 12 trips. You know, it doesn't really matter to me. It needs to be perfect, and it needs the pH raised. So that's it. Short little video, and really I just wanted to explain the hunt stand part of it. It's a really simple and easy way for you to really look at the core of where these deer are moving. And you can go in and think of all the different things. I don't know what that text even means. But you can go in and think of it 100 different ways. But it comes down to the most frequent areas that these deer travel. And that happened to be this whole middle part. And that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to take an area that they already love going to and love using every day, day, night, early morning, evening, noon, everything. And we wanted to put the food there. So the next video we'll go into what we're planting, why we're planting it, and how it's going to work. A lot of people are going to go against what I'm about to tell you, but from hunting this land and all the agricultural across, it's going to work. Oh, and one other thing. So if your land is a little more, I just thought of this. If your land's a little more of a long rectangle, you can put in a linear plot. We'll just do it up here so you can see. You make a thin, long food plot, and if you have woods on both sides, you could have deer bedding here, right next to that food plot. Bedding, 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 bedding. And then you can stack them again in bedding. So if you can fit a linear food plot, it actually makes a lot of sense compared to something round, because like they're not going to bed out here. This is hayfield, you know. I mean, for us that wouldn't work, but your land might represent something a little more linear, and something like that could be awesome. And also, now that I'm thinking, I'm remembering all types of stuff. And also the reason we chose this centralized location deep inside of our woods, like I said, this whole picture is 300 acres. So it's a journey, you know, into that, is to keep these deer on this land. If you were to put a food plot, like this is all nasty grass up here. If you were to put a food plot in there, these deer are going to start pushing. There's a property line. These deer are going to start bedding in here and then pushing out here, maybe bedding across the street. You want to have it on your property, and you want to make them deer funnel through it, because that's what this property was. It was basically a huge funnel. So we're trying to change it to where we can get some bucks staying there. There's been little ones and stuff like that, but we have a lot of nice bucks that we want to be on this land so we can capitalize and we can take them and we can have some videos of it and you guys get to enjoy it. But that's all I wanted to touch on. I have a Bomar nose button video coming up, review on it. I've been shooting it for about 5 months right now, and I love it. At first I thought it was the stupidest thing. I thought, that's stupid, just use a kisser button. There's no need for that. You know, that's basically what it is, a kisser button for your nose. You know, it makes a lot of sense, and I'll go into it more in that video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Kind of simple, but it's a good way to look at your land and view it, just do like another set of eyes. But make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. We got a lot of stuff going on. I've been super busy at work, so my free time kind of went to the food plot, and making videos kind of got set back a little bit. So I want to be better about, you know, posting new videos and everything. So make sure you hit that subscribe. Make sure you like. If you got any comments, comment. I love talking back and forth with everybody, or any questions on other videos, whatever. So everybody take care, and wrong side. One of you guys will have you a nice heated jacket this season. Nice heated jacket. I don't even have a heated jacket, so feel special. I appreciate everything. So take care, and I'll post a video whenever I hit 100 and explain how this bad puppy is gonna go. Alright.